Let me paint you a picture. You're an elementary schooler in the US during the 2000s. The internet has begun its infant stages of mainstream educational use, and in your school, the students have a designated period where they're taught in the computer lab. Okay, actually, that's like a pretty specific set of circumstances, so let's just skip to the part where I tell you that I'm talking about myself. I always loved the computer lab. I grew up with video games, and at that point in my life, I thought they were like magical and the best thing on earth. So anytime I could get access to a computer or a game console, I jumped at the opportunity. In fact, I'd argue that behavior is still in me today, for better or for worse. Anyway, the best part of the computer lab was for the last 20 minutes or so, we had what they called free time, where we could do anything on the computer as long as it was educational. I bet by now, you see where this is going. Yes, like the little shits we were, my classmates and I would try anything and everything to trick our teachers into thinking we were doing something worthwhile, when in reality we were playing like Windows Space Pinball or my personal favorite, Flash games. Rest in peace, by the way, possibly a video for another time. The obvious issue was that Flash games are like very obviously not educational. Our teachers would monitor us pretty closely, and though one could argue that Henry Stickmin promoted cognitive reasoning and Line Writer promoted healthy artistic expression, something tells me that they wouldn't have bought that argument. What's a kid to do? Enter CoolMathGames.com. There's like a 99% chance you know about this website already, but if you don't, let me give you a brief rundown. CoolMathGames, despite having math literally in the title, did not, in fact, have much to do at all with math games. Instead, it had a lot more to do with really fun, not math-based games, which were much nicer for my stupid kid brain. So at this point you might be thinking, okay, mechanic, why CoolMathGames specifically? There were tons of other websites that hosted Flash games. Well, here's the thing. My teachers were all middle-aged and really didn't know much about the internet at this time. So, as a result, here's how being caught playing a game almost always went down. Devin, what are you doing? That looks like a game to me. Oh, yeah, it is a game, but here, look. See, it's on CoolMathGames.com. Is that okay? Well, if it's a math game, that's fine. Have fun. Why the hell did I give my teacher a terrible British accent? Yep, the reason CoolMath was so special was in fact the name itself. When the teachers saw the M word, everything was all good in their mind. By the way, I was not the only kid doing this, not by a long shot. In fact, a friend was the one that showed me the site in the first place. Playing CoolMath during free time was something almost every kid my age did in my school. And you know, I have a theory that my school wasn't the only one. Have you noticed that CoolMathGames is more talked about than other Flash game websites? Like, there was CoolMath, but there was also Miniclip, Addicting Games, Congregate, and tons more. But for some reason, it seems that CoolMath is the undisputed champion of these sites. Something about this website seems to be special to people, myself included. So could it be that my school wasn't the only one where this was happening? I can't speak for other countries, but at least in the US, I feel like CoolMath is talked about like oddly frequently. Okay, this is definitely tipping into tin hat theory territory, but if what I described sounds familiar to you, let me know in the comments. I'm like genuinely interested if this has any merit or if I'm just insane. To make an entire video not about Flash games as a whole, but on a specific host of those games is kinda silly, and I'm fully aware of that. To me though, this website is special. To me, it represents a time where my biggest stress was wondering if the teacher would catch me playing a video game during class time. A time where my friends and I would giggle with each other in the computer lab while I watched a little robot get launched by bombs across our computer screens. Also, if you know which Flash game I'm talking about, you're a real one. I think we all have something like that. That one thing that makes us nostalgic for a simpler time. Before I go though, I want to leave you with a cheesy thought. No matter how much we may yearn for the past, it's important to remember that what we have now shouldn't be taken for granted. I often let my nostalgia turn into genuine sadness as I feel like I was so much happier when I was younger. But truthfully, age isn't the issue. Every day we have opportunities to make our own happiness, and that's something I've been trying to do a lot more lately, even if it's hard. like with this whole YouTube thing. In the end, as long as it doesn't get carried away, I like thinking about my childhood. And every time I do, there's a certain website that will be there to greet me. I love you, CoolMathGames. Thanks for being there for me after a long day of basic addition and spelling tests. Alright, see you later.